Yeah, good. Cheers.
Good, good.
So Ross, just give you a bit of background. We know each other, but for everyone listening, my name is Faisal Khan. I did marketing at Plymouth University. I did the 4-year course, so included a placement year where I did a sandwich and worked abroad in Munich, in Germany. And currently, I'm 2.5 years into my role at Alert Logic, a cybersecurity company. And
Great.
yeah, pleased to be here and talk about my experiences.
Awesome. Well, thank you for jumping on this call. I wanted to first ask, um, what was your you did the 4-year course, and you did an internship. Where did you do the internship? I kind of and kind of what kind of job was it? What kind of company? Um, I remember you saying it's like in Munich in Germany. But tell me more about that because it sounded pretty good.
Yeah, sure. So, well, one of the main reasons I chose my course at Plymouth was because it had a compulsory placement year. So you had to go into industry and do a year's worth of work. Um, I I decided that I wanted to go abroad and do this year, and that's primarily because the summer before I'd spent interrailing and going around Europe, and I found that I really enjoyed Germany. So I thought, okay, I've got a placement year coming up. I don't want to be in the UK. I want to go somewhere abroad, so I'm going to choose Germany.
Yeah.
And then yeah, after a lot of applications, a lot of rejection, I found a really really good opportunity to work for a large American semiconductor company in Munich.
Mm,
So it was within their sales and marketing department, and I was essentially doing an account management role, a lot around processing orders, looking after one of their largest clients. So it was first point of contact for Bosch automotive part across Europe. So it was a really, really good experience understanding loads of things I hadn't even used before. It was the first time I came in contact with the likes of Salesforce, which now I
yeah.
use every day. But
Yeah.
at
Massive.
that point, it was all new, and being in that working culture, working for a $3 billion revenue company was a great experience.
Yeah.
And then, of course, the ability to live in Munich was also great.
Mm, love
We
that.
we in the winters we could go skiing. We were an hour and a half away from our apartment. We could get into the slopes and just go for the day. In the summers you
Amazing.
had all the parks, the rivers and stuff to chill. We had
Yeah.
Oktoberfest, which work made us go to. It was,
That's
yeah. But it was
brilliant.
just an amazing experience, and I'd recommend it to anyone because um, it's quite likely you're going to get a graduate role within the UK after you finish uni, but you've got that 1 year where you can really do anything. You won't really work for any company. You don't have to go back there, and if you do, you've probably got good chances there. So
Mm,
it's a year worth utilizing and pushing your boundaries a bit and going and doing
yeah.
something completely different.
You
I didn't even speak German at all. I'd never
yeah,
learned any
yeah,
German, and I was like, you know
yeah,
what? Fuck it, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna
yeah.
go to Munich. I want to live there.
Why not? You you got the Erasmus grant, right? I know that's like huge for kind of going around Europe. Do you know if that's still a thing? Um,
Yeah, so I've actually gone to a couple of open days with my younger brother who's looking to go to university, and I've brought up the topic around Erasmus, and a couple of unis have said that they're not sure if it's going to be a thing due to Brexit, but some unis
yeah.
I've heard are supplementing it with their own funding. So I think there may
Okay.
be some
Yeah.
support, but I was
Sure.
lucky enough to be in a paid role in
Yeah.
my placement year. So even
Mm,
if it wasn't for the Erasmus funding, I would still been okay getting by in terms of rent and
yeah.
stuff and living there.
Awesome. That's good. That's good for future students. Um,
Yeah, I definitely recommend placement. Yeah, I keep pushing my younger brother, so it's one of the best things I did. So
yeah,
it's
I certainly
definitely,
love mine. I certainly love mine. Mine.
where did you do yours?
I went. I stayed local. I actually worked in Surrey. I worked at Enterprise Rent a Car's head office, and
Nice.
yeah, that was great. I'd recommend that to anyone. So I think yeah, just a placement in general is just. I think it's really useful.
Yeah, I believe at Plymouth it's now become optional.
Yeah, it was in my year, and I think it still is.
Yeah.
But
Well, I'd recommend everyone to do it.
yeah,
I
100%,
think
100%.
the experience we've now got on our CV from doing your industry has helped massively
Sure.
post
Yeah.
university when applying to jobs. It's the first thing that employers look at. They want to ask questions around what you did during that year, how you found it, what skills you learned. So having that has really helped. Working
Yeah.
in a whole year's worth of experience in a corporate environment has really helped the whole job search.
Yeah. The second thing I wanted to go on to, like after your placement, you did your final year, and then you're now at the company you've been working for is it 3 years now?
2.5 years, yep.
2.5 years. Nice. And you're in sales. I'm sure there's loads of marketing students that kind of are looking. I mean, even me, I kind of looked into kind of sales roles and things like that. What kind of made you initially? I know your internship kind of involved marketing and sales. Is that kind of what made you think I want to go into a sales role, or was it actually you got the role and thought, and then started realizing you had a knack for it and things like that? Or how did you end up at Alert Logic, right?
Yeah, sure.
Sure.
So I guess a part of me has always enjoyed sales, and especially the customer facing side of things and being able to talk to people. I've previously been working in a B2C sales role at Carphone Warehouse since I was 16. So
Yeah.
it's something I'd always had experience of and really enjoyed. But when it came to graduating and finishing university, I actually didn't go into a role straight away because I wasn't sure exactly what I wanted to do. I wanted to travel the world, but I
Yeah.
didn't have the
Yeah.
money.
Yeah.
So I thought, what can I do in this time before, this summer where I can get a bit of experience as well. So I actually spent about 6-7 months after graduating, really just doing a load of freelance work, working for experiential marketing agencies and promo work. So
Yeah.
I did a lot of work on campaigns for the likes of Spotify, Apple Music, around campuses, around public places. So a lot of face to face,
Yeah.
sales
Kind of
and
direct sales. Yeah.
yeah. So it was
Yeah.
really interesting. Did loads of different campaigns for loads of big brands, and then also did a load of bar work and volunteering at festivals. So
Yeah.
that was my summer of fun.
Yeah.
Where
Yeah.
I
It sounds
couldn't afford
amazing.
to go travel the world, I just did loads of different things within the UK and got
Yeah.
a load of experience out of it as well, and then got a bit of money for it as well.
Amazing.
That then started to dry up or when it came to Christmas time, and I thought, you know what, I need to get a proper job. I need a bit more stability now. I need a
Got
9 to 5. I need constant stream of income. So
Yeah.
I started looking into marketing roles and sales roles and just a whole range of different roles. You don't specifically just look at the roles that you did a degree in postgraduate things. I'm sure you're aware.
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
throughout my search, I knew I wanted to do something that was client and customer facing. I wanted to do something that would involve me talking to people, presenting, meeting people, and I also
Yeah.
wanted to do something that what that allowed me to get up from my desk and go about and go to other offices, go to meetings, travel.
Yeah.
And throughout my search, although I was either keen on digital marketing or sales, and digital
Sure.
marketing was something I was good at university. I really enjoyed, and I thought that's what I wanted to get into. But throughout my job search, I realized a lot of the actual digital marketing roles are more desk based, and I wanted something that's going
Yeah.
to grow into something that's more not desk based.
Yeah. You don't
So
want to be sat
throughout,
behind a desk all day.
and then also I
Yeah.
realized when I came to marketing sales, the difference I noticed was that a lot of sales roles were commission based, so
Yeah.
there's the opportunity for higher earning potential.
Yes.
And I'd been familiar with commission because it's how I worked at Carphone Warehouse on my part-time job, and it's how I worked in freelance
That's me. Yeah.
Bless you, and
Excuse me.
experiential marketing work. So um, yeah, I thought I wanted to do something that's going to make me go out and about. I'm going to be meeting loads of clients. It's going to be commission based, and yeah, and then I started looking more and more into sales roles, and thought, actually, you know what, I want to do sales. I want to have
Sure.
the higher earning potential. I want to do something that's challenging. You're always on your feet in sales, so
Yeah.
yeah, I decided to go into sales.
Yeah. No, I think I've certainly looked at a lot of sales roles because there is definitely that attraction to them because of the kind of the commission. You know, there's uncapped commission and things like that, and also it seems like you've managed to travel quite a lot with the role as well, and that sounds like a great opportunity too. So I'm guessing I'm guessing your the travel is based on the pitching of the products that you offer and things like that for your business. Is that
Part of
kind of?
it can be, yes. So the travel side of sales really appealed to me, and it's one of the reasons why I chose Alert Logic, because it's a
Yeah,
global company. It's an American company. So our headquarters are in Houston, in Texas. So
sure.
every year they have a sales kickoff, a company kickoff, where they fly in all the teams from around the world, and it's a big review of the previous year, training presentations, and
Yeah.
bit of a party really.
Oh, lovely.
But you also learn a lot, and a load of, you get sales trainers in, and so that's a really exciting opportunity, and similar with a lot of big American companies.
Mm,
They will have some sort of kickoff or company kickoff where they will fly their employees over.
mm,
Um, um, yeah, so that's allowed me to travel. Also, being in sales, you're at events a lot. So you're at trade shows and events, and we have
mm.
them, all over the country in the UK, but also internationally as well. So I was in Amsterdam last year.
Yeah,
We had a big show there, a lot of big IT conferences. So you get the opportunity, you definitely get the opportunity to travel in a sales role. Where you are that front line, of the company, you're expected to be there meeting with clients and prospecting. So
mm,
that was a big part of what appealed to me. So that's allowed me to travel across the US, all over the UK. Not now, unfortunately, but
yeah.
I feel come to a bit of a stop.
Yeah,
Um,
exactly.
but,
Tough now, but yeah,
but
I'm sure
yeah,
it'll be
that
back
was
up and running soon.
yeah, hopefully.
Yeah,
But yeah, that was a big part of choosing the company.
sure.
It was the travel element, the sales, the
How
meeting with.
about the cybersecurity sector as well? Because that sounds like an industry that's quite a hot topic generally and at the moment. Is was your intention, or did you take an interest in cybersecurity prior to going into Alert Logic, or was it kind of you realized it was quite a huge thing when you were there?
Yeah,
Or,
so I don't have a background in cybersecurity or computing. I've always had an interest in technology, but
yeah,
um, yeah, and I never really had never really thought I'm going to get into cybersecurity.
yeah,
But after graduating and after realizing, I need to settle down and get a proper 9 to 5 job, once I narrowed down that I want to get into sales,
mm,
I then started looking into different industries and really wanted to see which industries are hot and growing, and which ones
yeah,
are going to be around, in
yeah,
10, 15 years time. What are the fastest growing industries? And it then came down to IT.
yeah,
So I thought, oh, cool. Okay, I want to get into IT. It's a massively growing industry. There's lots of opportunity. There's lots of jobs.
yeah,
So then when I started narrowing down IT, I thought, okay, what part of IT is the sexiest?
yeah, yeah, for sure.
which part sounds the coolest?
Yeah,
Which
yeah,
one is there a lot of opportunity in? And
yeah,
throughout the whole research process of that, I found cybersecurity really interesting. It was,
mm,
at the time when GDPR was kicking in, it was all over
oh
the
yeah,
news.
massive.
You'd heard a lot about WannaCry, the thing that brought down the NHS for a
Yeah,
while.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah, yeah,
so
yeah,
it was really relevant and really current. And the more I researched into it, I thought, you know what, this is a really interesting industry, and it
yeah,
affects everyone,
yeah,
all the
yeah,
time. So then, yeah, I
yeah.
managed to get a role at Alert Logic, and yeah,
Amazing.
it's been really good so far.
Awesome. So, my next question, I guess, is around the situation at the moment, the coronavirus. How has that affected your role now? Because you're in sales and you're attempting to sell your cybersecurity products and services. Um, what does that mean for you and for your business, I guess?
Yeah, sure. So for me personally, I get to save nearly 2 hours a day commuting because I'm working
Excellent.
from home.
Yeah, 100%.
um,
Ideal.
but for the business, I think we're in quite a fortunate place, and we're quite lucky in the fact that we are in that IT sector and that we are in security, that we haven't seen a huge impact in business compared to retail companies or
Yeah,
hospitality have
yeah,
over the
for
last few
sure.
months. If anything, things have actually got busier for us over the last few months.
Yes.
Um, and that's is down to the fact that so many businesses have had this rapid change over the last few months, moving their staff to remote working, using cloud services. So all these IT teams have had to rush these projects that would have taken maybe years to complete and cram
Yeah,
them into a couple of weeks.
yeah,
And with that, they've now got everyone working from home, and they're like, oh crap, how do we keep this secure? How do we make
yeah.
sure we're not being hacked?
Got it.
So that's created a lot of demand for our services for what we do. So
Mm,
we've seen a big increase, and yeah, we're busier than ever. So we're on back-to-back calls, and because we've been a technology company, we've been lucky and fortunate in the sense that we've had all the tools and technologies to be able to work remotely.
sure.
So
Yeah,
we can have calls with clients, with internal calls, all really easily. And
yeah,
we actually sent everyone working from home a couple of weeks before the actual lockdown kicked in, just as a precautionary measure. So
yeah.
we've been up and running. I got allowed to go back into the office and get my office chair today. That was good.
Oh, excellent.
So I've got my monitors as well. So I've got a little
Oh,
setup.
lovely. All sorted. All sorted. You've yeah, yeah. I feel like yeah, everyone's migrating into their and getting quite comfortable. So I guess it would be quite strange once we're out of this to come back. Although it seems like a lot of businesses are kind of realizing the benefits of working from home. You know, and some I was speaking to someone yesterday about like Twitter. You know, choosing that they're going
Yeah,
to make their
yeah, still that.
employees work from home indefinitely. So, like, yeah, I guess, yeah, no, that's really cool. So, have you got any advice for graduates and people, especially people looking into sales roles? I guess any kind of tips and advice. You talked about your process into getting a sales role, but do you have anything you could pass over to them that might help them for the future and applying for these types of roles?
Yeah, sure. So I think when it comes to post graduation, I'd always recommend, the first few months, not feeling like you've got huge pressure to get into a role straight away. I'd say take your time. If you want to go work at festivals, do that. if
Yeah,
you,
yeah, love it, love it.
um,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah, but yeah, I would say don't rush it because
it's a big
you want to
decision.
be. Yeah, I'd say don't. Take your time to decide what you want to get into. If you're looking to get into sales, every industry, every vertical requires a sales department. So you will find a job that is one of the biggest employers. You can get a job in nearly every industry. So
Yeah,
take time to understand, to find out what you're interested in and what excites you and what's growing, and find an industry and a topic or a particular company that you really want to work for, and it's very likely they will have sales roles in there. I'd say utilize some of the specialist sales recruitment companies that are out there.
Yeah, yeah,
So, I mean, there aren't really degrees you can do in sales.
yeah,
So
yeah, that's true.
a lot of people come out of uni and want to get into sales, but don't really know what it's all about.
Sure.
They don't really know what it entails, what's required, what's expected of them, how they should go to an interview, and what sort of things they should say and talk about. So I definitely recommend utilizing a lot of the the sales enablement. No,
Yeah,
the sales recruitment companies that are out there, because they
yeah,
do a really good job of essentially evangelizing the potential of sales to
yeah,
graduates. There
yeah,
are a load out there. I can send you a few, but
mm,
um, they usually, do things like assessment days, interviews, and they have relationships with a lot of companies like Alert Logic and a lot of other vendors. So
yeah,
they will then they will train you up to a certain extent and
mm,
around interview processes and assessment days, and then also introduce you to companies
yeah,
like the one I applied for. So
mm,
I'd recommend looking into those.
yeah,
They're, they're very helpful.
yeah. That was
Um,
actually a very similar point to what Matt made, in terms of he was talking about how he kind of found it very bit beneficial looking in his marketing role, going through marketing recruiters as well. So yeah,
yeah,
that's
yeah.
a good
So
point.
even though when you're at university, you've got this support network, you've got the careers people, you've got
Yeah,
your lecturers, you've got other support available to you, and when you come out of that, you may not have a lot of people who've gone through the exact same process around you. So really not, I don't think even maybe one or two asked me about my grades and specifically around my university, but the
yeah,
first thing they'd ask about is your experience, what you did at university,
mm,
what you did in this job, what you did in this project, what did you
yeah,
do in volunteer, whilst you were volunteering there. So, when it comes to refining your CVs and experiences, really highlight all the extracurricular stuff that you've done. If it
yeah,
is being the president of the marketing society, or being a student ambassador, or
yeah. Just
anything else really outside of your degree, because a lot of people have degrees nowadays,
mm,
and employers want to know what differentiates you. What have you done outside of your degree? Where did you go over and beyond? And
mm,
things like placement years, having a whole
yeah,
year under your belt working in a corporate environment is really beneficial for an
yeah,
employer. If they see someone who's had no experience but from a really top uni,
mm,
and then they see someone who's not from an Oxbridge but has got a couple of years of experience under their belt throughout a placement year and then part-time work, then they may feel more comfortable employing that person. So
yeah,
I'd
yeah.
recommend
That's a
highlighting
great point.
all the experience.
Yeah, I
Uh,
certainly think it gives you more confidence when applying to these graduate roles. Um, kind of get especially like because you've kind of gone through the interview process if you've done any kind of work experience. So yeah,
yeah,
I think
yeah,
that'll go.
exactly. Yeah,
Mm,
you'll have been there before. You know what it's like. You know what to expect.
mm,
And yeah, so I'd say utilize the resources like the specialists, sales recruitment companies, and it's not just in sales. You've got them in other. If you want to get into marketing recruitment companies, the rest of it. I'd say also highlight all the experience and work experience that you've done, and if it is, even if it is for a couple of weeks after you graduate, shadowing or working somewhere over summer, highlight all that experience.
yeah,
And then also, what's the other point I was going to say?
yeah. No, I think you're right. Like highlighting any you know, I certainly had a few experiences when I was applying for my internship, for example. I was bringing up things that weren't necessarily related to marketing, despite it being a marketing role. But
Yeah.
I think anyone recruiting is interested in your whole kind of work experience
Yeah.
rather
Yeah,
than
exactly.
necessarily everything specific to
Yeah.
the role.
The other thing I've just remembered, the other thing I was going to say is use your
Sure.
network.
Yeah.
Use your network. So reach out to people, reach out to the likes of yourself, you know, reach out to people previously on your course, throughout committees, throughout, you know, people in the years above you, reach out to, you know, friends and family, whoever, because
Yeah.
you know, a lot of people, you know, get jobs through people who they know. It
Yeah.
really is about who you know sometimes.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Yeah.
um,
No, I totally agree. Totally agree. Yeah, certainly a lot of opportunity there through your network. So yeah.
yeah, I definitely recommend utilizing that. But yeah,
Cool.
I think yeah, in terms of tips, I think that's it. I think
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. Well, thank you, Faisal. Like you certainly have covered a lot of points that I hadn't really thought about and considered, and certainly your experience in sales as well has kind of opened my mind to a couple of, or at least kind of given me some insight into how I could apply for those types of roles. So yeah, that's awesome. So thank you so much. So, yeah,
you're more than welcome. And if you ever need any more help or you know need to find out any more information, reach out and any of the others as well.
will do. Yeah, thank you so much, Faisal. Cheers.
Cheers, Ross.